you're a woman, there are places in the world where simply smiling at a man or refusing an arranged marriage can get you killed. But one country in the Middle East is leading the fight to stop these crimes. We take you to Jordan.
This is a story of women who cannot be identified because they live in fear of their lives. Faten is the name this woman uses, and hers is a justified fear. In a brutal attack 18 years ago, she almost died.
My family shot me. I was shot in my head, legs, chest, and hands.
Faten lay wounded. Her attacker, her own brother. Faten helped her younger sister, who was pregnant and unmarried. Their older brother shot them both. His justification? Defending the family honor. Her sister died in the attack. Faten spent 6 months in hospital. To prevent her brother, the killer, from finishing the job, Faten had no choice but to be locked away in this jail in the capital, Amman.
That's what happened to me. I spent 15 years of my life in prison.
At that time, about half the women inmates were also here for their own protection, following similar vicious attacks. Their assailants routinely remained free whilst they were behind bars.
I know I wasn't guilty of anything, without a doubt. The 15 years I spent in prison was because of the injustice of others.
This woman, who calls herself Iman, was also the victim of an honor crime and also still lives in fear of her life from a brother who tried to kill her.
My brother came and took me from my brother-in-law's house, and he stabbed me with a knife.
Stabbed her multiple times. Iman's only crime was getting pregnant after she was raped.
I was taken to the hospital and was released after 4 days. Then I was put in jail.
Sadly, these are not unique stories. Some 5,000 women around the world, according to United Nations estimates, are brutally killed each year in the name of honor. But experts believe the real figure is much higher, as many killings go unreported. These attacks must not continue as the cultural norm, says UN Deputy High Commissioner for Human Rights, Kyung-Hwa Kang.
Honor killings cannot be accepted or justified by tradition anywhere. Traditional attitudes can change, and they must change.
And in Jordan, they are beginning to, thanks largely to the determined efforts of human rights defenders like Asma Hadda, lawyer and ex-minister of culture.
Honor crimes is one of the worst types of violence against women.
About 10 years ago, Asma helped lead a mass demonstration on the streets of Amman, demanding reform, both in attitudes towards these crimes and in the law.
Killing her to protect your honor, it is the beliefs and traditions that are not related to any modern human rights principles or any religious teachings.
So, says Eva Abu Halawe, director of a human rights group, the tradition of killing for honor must end.
Jordanians are not killers. They have feelings towards their daughters and their sisters, and if they have any support or alternatives, they will not use killing.
So to show alternatives, they launched a national media campaign. This TV spot was part of it, aimed at raising awareness of the crimes. But just changing attitudes was not enough. In a country where honor killings went virtually unpunished, changes in the law were urgently needed. And this summer brought those long-awaited amendments. Now criminals face as much as 10 years in prison.
The old laws were discriminatory and gave men all the rights.
Appeal Court Judge Tarawene says that the new laws ensure that family crimes are no longer justified in the name of honor.
If we say it's okay to kill in the name of honor, then it's also okay to steal and to commit fraud in the name of honor. These killings are not related to honor in any way.
The efforts are starting to pay off. In the last decade, the number of victims in Jordan has been cut in half. What's more, the system of protective custody for victims has been virtually phased out. Instead of being sent to prison, women in danger can now take refuge in safe houses. They also have the opportunity to learn skills like hairdressing to make them economically independent. But lawyer Eva Abu Halawe believes it's also crucial to reconcile victims with their families to ensure their safety. Today, she brings together Iman with the father she hasn't seen for 4 years.
I live alone and I can't see any of my family. And seeing my father after all this time, I almost fainted.
Just for today, Iman is able to look after him like she used to.
He's very sick, and I always asked myself who was taking care of him, because before I used to help him all the time.
But what she still longs for is to be reconciled with her brothers.
I miss my brothers the most, and I wish they could forgive me, and we could once again be a family.
Faten too dreams of being reunited with her family and to again live a normal life.
I have 2 brothers who are still against me, and 3 that have forgiven me. All I want now is to be treated the same by all my brothers, and for us to be together again.
Although no longer behind bars, both women remain imprisoned in a life of hiding. The only thing that will free women like them is for society to change the way it treats these so-called crimes of honor.